Good evening and welcome back to Prime of Midlife. Today is Tuesday, and this morning here in the UK we had the wonderful news that our energy price cap is going to increase by 6%. And I think that's about an extra £80 a year for energy costs that the electricity companies can charge us. Oh joy. Looking at the graph that they had on the news this evening, it looks like we're heading back to where we were when the first problems with Ukraine started. After that was when the price cap went up quite considerably, and then it sort of came down, and it's sort of been coming down, and now we're getting back up again. I have to say the general consensus in the office is that the energy companies haven't been making their record-breaking profits for quite some time, and it looks like it's time for them to start again. So what we are going to do here is we are going to turn down the thermostat on the water heater again. That will be getting turned down. I did try to do that last night, but there's a little bolt holding it on and holding the cover on, and I couldn't do that with just my thumb. So I will be taking a spanner up to get that done properly. But yeah, energy costs are increasing again. As I've said before, this house is all electric, apart from obviously we have the wood burner. So we are, I think the last electricity bill I got was £230 for the month, which was quite a fright, but that was winter, and we did have the little electric heater on a couple of times while we were waiting in the wood burner to build up heat. So yeah, we'll be looking at that. My light bulbs are all LED anyway. We're quite conscious of switching off lights now, basically because Patrick the electrician used to go mad when he first came to my house and I had lights on everywhere. So we've now started switching off the lights all the time. We don't have as much stuff plugged in as we used to. So we'll see how that goes. I also managed to get a hot water dispenser, I think it's called. Basically, I'd given Patrick one for Christmas a few years ago so he could have it beside his bed to get the cup of tea in the morning. But due to the milk factor, he had to go through the kitchen to get milk anyway, so that wasn't quite as good an idea as I thought. But he hasn't used it in a while, and I had been saying about my hands being sore, and lifting a kettle was the problem. So I now have a hot water dispenser, which I'm quite keen on. So I'm thinking that'll possibly cut down on the amount of electricity usage because I don't fill it as much as the kettle because I can see it easier. So yeah, we're back to thinking that way again. And the logic is, if I'm back to thinking that way again, we're going back to prepping. We're going back to preparing. We're going back to getting organised. So yeah, but that's a pretty hefty rise for a lot of people here in the UK, with that energy price cap, which means that everything's going to go up, because I know that where I work now, we're in an office building, and it's serviced offices. So of course their electricity costs are going to go up, etc. So that's going to heighten the rent, which means the cost to run the business is going to be more. Bakeries with ovens, your local pubs that do food, heating and lighting in any shop, any business basically, is going to, their costs are going to go up. And in April, there's a whole lot of other stuff going up as well. So that's going to have a knock-on effect. And employers are already saying they're letting people go. There are people losing their jobs just because the businesses are like, I'm struggling enough, I'm done. So I think it's time for a big change here in the UK. And I think for people like me who are not that well off, I think it's going to be a time of hold on to your job if you can. And while you've got money coming in, make sure you're as prepared as possible, search for the offers, do whatever, because I don't think it's going to get easier anytime soon. And again, I hate doing the doom and gloom and sounding like a scaremonger. I'm not. They've just cut the foreign aid budget to increase the defence budget. And a lot of people are quite happy with that because, that's money that was going out with our country. Now we're keeping it in our country. But that was one of the few places where we wouldn't notice it very much, that budget being cut. So what are they going to cut the next time? Because our Prime Minister said he's going to increase defence spending and he wants to increase it more in the next Parliament. Where's it going to come from? Because if we've already cut the budget of money going out of the country, that means it's money within the country that's going to be cut. So my wee brains, as you can hear, it's going like that. But yeah, the first thing is to lower the thermostat for the hot water. Make sure that everything that is unplugged, that can be unplugged, is unplugged. And as I say, I've got the water dispenser. Just see what I need to be doing to use a little bit less electricity and try and keep my electricity spending on a level. So yeah, wish me luck with that. Now, I'm going to go and get my little machine and make myself another cup of tea. Catch you later.